You may think that you have a client problem right now, but what you actually have is a systems problem. And so you might be telling yourself, well, if I just had 5 more clients, everything would be okay. But something vital that I am noticing when I'm creeping on all of your profiles and seeing what you're up to is that if you actually had 5 dream clients find you today, you actually may not even have your public profile YouTube channel set up in a way that is going to let your clients know what to do next to actually get started working with you. And then, even if you do have a way for people to start getting working with you, once they do that, are they actually going to get a professional welcome? Would they actually know what happens next? Or are you going to be in the background scrambling to send emails, find a way to send an invoice, find a way to get a contract signed, or get a contract set up for the first time? Getting Zoom links sent over, figuring out how to send a questionnaire, and then wondering if you forgot something all along the way. So I'm here to help you get all that figured out, because here's what I have learned helping coaches simplify the tech side of their business. And that is that a successful coaching business isn't successful necessarily because they have the fanciest software. They're successful because they have a simple system in place that actually works together to give a client journey that takes someone clearly from a stranger to a paying client and then to a raving fan who refers you to all of their friends. So I'm really excited because today I'm going to be using my iPad to draw the 5 systems that every coach needs in their coaching business before getting more clients. And that's because these systems work together kind of like a chain link. So like imagine if you have a chain link and then one link is missing or it's damaged or, bent in a weird way. If that happens, then the client journey just kind of falls apart. And since I know you want to be providing an amazing client experience, we're going to go through these today. And I'm going to walk you through each one while also explaining why it matters. And I'm going to give you some examples that you can implement into your business today. So let's get started. I'm going to share my screen. And so these are the 5 systems, but I actually want to call them the 5 gets. And that is because each system is going to start with the word get, but also because systems just sound so just like corporate jargon. And I feel like if you memorize it as the gets, then it'll be the 5 gets. Oops. All right, so let's get into the first one, which is going to be get found. Okay, and if you see me looking over here, it's because I'm looking at my notes. So get found is basically another way for saying have a lead generation system. And see how lead generation system just sounds so stuffy? Get found just has a little more razzle dazzle. So with a lead generation system, the whole purpose of this is to have a system that helps strangers find you and become leads for your business. Because technically without leads, literally nothing else matters. What are we doing here? Your whole point in starting your coaching business was to help people. So you need leads. So this system is going to help you answer the question, how do people find me? Now, the easiest way to do this on social media today is to post content, but you've got to make sure you post content on a platform that you actually, for one, like, and for two, think that people that you want to work with will actually find you on. Now, for example, for me, I love YouTube. YouTube is something that I literally watch every single day. And so it just made the most sense to finally start focusing on YouTube as a way for people to find me. So you have tons of options. Like I said, you can do YouTube. Maybe you're a Facebook girl. I use Facebook secondarily because I have a Facebook group, which I really love. And then you can also use Instagram. Instagram these days is just not for me, which is fine. But I know it works for a lot of people. Let's see, there's also, you can have a podcast. Maybe you're a blogger and are really good with SEO and stuff and know how to make it so that people can actually find you. Amazing. And then for a lot of coaches, a big one is having speaking engagements. So whether you're a guest on a podcast or you're actually giving some sort of, TED talk or something, that is a great way to get visible and to have leads find you and check you out and see if you're the right coach for them. Now, one thing I do want to note about being visible is today I'm discussing more of the getting clients and having the struggle of maybe you get too many clients and it causes back-end chaos, right? That is what I specialize in. I love helping coaches to, get the back-end tech stuff figured out. But you may also be struggling with a visibility wound, which I have struggled with myself. And that is more of a mindset issue. So if you are dealing with not getting clients because you're afraid to put yourself out there, or because, you're nervous, that is a different issue. And maybe I'll talk about that one day. I'm technically not a mindset coach, but like I said, it has been a personal thing I've dealt with as well. But today we're talking about the more operational side of things. So getting found is the first system that you need, because literally if you don't have this, none of the other things matter. You got to have people who are finding you. So you got to put yourself out there on one of these platforms. Now, once you've figured out where you want to post, you want to make sure you have a lead capturing. Uh, you want to make sure you have a way to capture those leads. So you want to make sure that once you're posting on these platforms, you have a way to get these people who are interested in you into your world. So whether that's linking to book a call with you, or offering some sort of freebie so that they get onto your email list and you can continue to nurture them from there. And really, those are the two main ways. So that way you're not wondering, well, okay, all these people found me, but now what? Well, now they're either going to be instructed to book a call with you or to get onto your email list so you can follow up with them later. Oh, another one though that I like is to send you a DM, especially if you're on Instagram. That's like a really popular way to do things, because and also works for Facebook, but it's because you can just start those conversations and validate the person right then and there with a conversation if they're the right fit for whatever program you're offering. Okay, so that is the first get. The second get, let's do a new color. Number 2 is going to be get paid. And so this is your sales system. And this is going to be the system you have to convert people from just being interested to actually being a paid client. So this answers the question, once people find me, what happens next? So if in the previous system you had them book a call with you, then the next step is book call. And so this can be like your discovery call, which may be free. Sometimes people have you pay for them. And from there, you're going to qualify them and ask for the sale. Simple as that. If you've chosen for them to DM you, some people have a few qualifying questions to determine, is this the right program for you? If it is, great. Send them the link to book. And so making your sales system or getting paid as seamless as possible and as clear as possible is what's going to get you more clients. Because if you're making it hard for them by maybe not having instructions on how to book a call, or not having the instruction to DM me, they're going to get confused and they're just going to be like, oh, well, I guess this wasn't the person for me. All right, now let's move to the third get, or AKA your third system. And that is going to be get started. Also known as a client onboarding system, which is arguably my favorite. I talk about that a lot on this channel. And so this is how you're actually going to deliver an amazing first impression after someone decides to become your client. So this system answers the question, what happens immediately? Oops, I spelled that wrong. Maybe I shouldn't have used immediately. That's a long word. What happens immediately after they pay? So you want to have a system set up where they obviously pay, they sign a contract, they have a way to book their first session with you, they maybe fill out an onboarding questionnaire. That's optional, but typically if you're starting with a new client, you want as much information about them as possible, so that way you go into your first session as prepared as possible to get the best transformation for them. You'll want to send a welcome email, because since everything is online and digital, those welcome confirmation emails are very vital to make sure the person feels like, okay, I just gave a huge chunk of money to someone. They want to feel welcome and like they didn't just get scammed. So sending them a welcome email with their next steps is going to be vital. And then if you have software that offers this, maybe offer them a client portal. So when you have a great onboarding um, sequence like this is going to make your client feel like, you know what, I made the right decision, because they just feel very taken care of already from the get-go. And so one of my favorite tools to implement this is Paperbell. And so you can get your first client free if you use my affiliate link in the description of this video. But today is not about Paperbell, but I like to just throw that out there in case you're at a point where you're like, ooh, what software am I going to use to accomplish all these things? Paperbell is great for that. Okay, so now that we've talked about get started, number 4, the fourth get, aka the fourth system, get results. And so this is a way of saying having a client delivery system. Because when you have a system in place for how you deliver your coaching to your clients, it's going to create a consistent experience amongst all of them. Obviously, you might change things as you grow and get better, but you do want to be consistent. So this system answers the question, how do I deliver what I promised? This is so important, especially in the online space, because you want to be known as someone who people can trust. You know, if you advertise something on your sales page or on in your content, you want to do your best to actually deliver what you said you were going to deliver. So the obvious first way to deliver your results is making sure that your new clients can book their coaching sessions with you. So having that calendar link to a calendar scheduler is the easiest way to get that done. You email that over to them and say, hey, book your next session with me, because it has all of your availability on it already. Another way you might be delivering is through a client portal, because maybe you're selling, instead of coaching sessions, it's a workbook or a worksheet or some sort of course. And so having something that they can log into is an option to grab that information. The portal may also just have links to other resources. Oops. Oh my goodness. You may also have a community that you offer. So maybe there's I cannot spell today. These double M's are getting me, but maybe you have a Facebook group that all of your clients are part of, or school is a big one these days. I haven't played around with that, but I am seeing people utilize it. And so the goal here is just to make sure you have something set up that is going to provide the transformation that you promised. To get started, it's obviously just going to be coaching sessions. You know, I'm adding all these other ones just as, you know, a way to get your imagination flowing, but you don't technically even need all of these to get results for your clients. That can be something that comes later if you want. Now let's get to the fifth get, aka the fifth system that every coach needs, and that is get referrals. And this is one I think that is overlooked by a lot of coaches. It's literally leaving money on the table. This is also known as a follow-up system, and it's how you can turn one client into a bunch of opportunities. And so this system is going to answer the question, what happens after we're done working together? So the easiest way to go about this is to simply ask for a testimonial. When's the last time you did that? Do you have existing clients that you've completed their whole coaching program and literally never sent the email or DM to say, hey, could you write me a testimonial? There's so many people who would be willing to do that. They may even be willing to do a video one. And so that's the easiest way. You can also set up automated emails that go out, depending on what system or software you're using, to automatically send it out after, you know, the 6 months, 3 months, however long has gone by of their program. So that way you don't even have to think about it. It's just automatically being done. Another thing you can do is simply request a referral. So send them an email saying, hey, I know you enjoyed our time together. Do you have anyone in your world that would need the same transformation? Lots of people do. Doesn't hurt to ask. You know what they say, closed mouths don't get fed. Another thing is you can just simply offer your next product. So a lot of people have, you know, their signature program, but if you have your signature program, but then things that are complementary or offers that are complementary to it that you know a lot of people would benefit from, go ahead and offer that to them. Also known as an upsell. You know, the would you like fries with that? If you're at a point where you're emailing an email list, you can make sure that they're added to your email list so that they're always aware of what you have going on, and maybe they would like to, you know, buy those additional things. And lastly, depending on what type of coach you are, you might even want to send check-in emails. You know, If you check in with someone a few months down the line after they've completed your program, you may discover that, they've fallen off the wagon or just need additional support. And so you can come up with something where they can take the program again or get some additional coaching sessions at, a special price since they've already been a client. I really like Paperbell for this because you can set up maybe like a recurring subscription. So if they've already completed your program, but they know they want to keep you in their life and just get some coaching maybe once a week, once a month, you can easily set that up in there. So let's go over those 5 gets. We have get found, get paid, get started, get results, and get referrals. Now, if you're realizing that these 5 systems are actually missing completely from your coaching business, or just a few of them are, I do want to invite you to something very special with me. A while back, I had hosted a live 3-day challenge called Systems That Sell. And it's exactly the framework that I wish every coach had before trying to grow their business. And so what we did was over the 3 days, I walked all the coaches through the exact systems that you need behind the scenes in order to build a coaching business that feels simple, organized, and actually ready for clients. So it was 3 days. And on day 1, we mapped out the tech that you actually need without wasting money on tools that you don't. On day 2, I showed them how to create a client onboarding experience that feels professional and saves a ton of manual work hours. And then on day 3, we built a simple sales system so that they could consistently bring in new clients while taking care of the ones that they already had. And so now I'm offering the replay of that live workshop, so you can get it now in the link in the description. It's the Systems That Sell Challenge replay, and it's going to help you build a coaching business that works for you, not one that just keeps you buried in tech chaos. And I don't think I actually said my name in the beginning of this video. So in case we're meeting for the first time, I'm Sha-Day Johnson, and I do believe that running your coaching business gets to be easy. So I hope you join me in the Systems That Sell Challenge replay, and I will see you there. Bye.